Good Saturday morning, y'all. Welcome to Saturday Thing 90. Let's do it. 85 comments. Brad Vaughn, contact me at BCtruck@gmail.com and let me know what you want on Amazon for $35 or less. Send me a link. And don't forget to tell me where you would like it mailed to. I'm going to attach some knife footage to the end of this video just because I didn't put it up. I uploaded it, but I didn't make it public yesterday. So I'll do that now. Have a good weekend, y'all. Let me finish my coffee. Well, it is so cold in here. My epoxies are cold. I do leave the... I leave one heater on this heater on very low just to keep everything above freezing in here. And it got below freezing last night, so now I got that heater on full blast and I got that heater kicked in. So about the time I finish my coffee, it ought to be warmed up in here. I'm gonna like that iPad. Thank you very much for that. You know who you are. Thanks. Oh, and I have a tripod mount for it and a 6 meter, which turns out is like 19 feet long, external mic. So when I do live streams, I'll be using that. So here's the dilemma. I believe some of this is temperature and humidity related. We've had large quantities and days-long periods of rain and dampness. And this BCtruck, the True Oil, is not drying. It's still tacky, and this is the third day. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put acetone on the nose of these. And this is it's a hardwood, but it's a very oily wood. So I'm going to try buffing these and not putting True Oil on them. I've got online, and I've read tons about BCtruck. This is walnut here, but that there and that there is BCtruck. And it's a very oily wood, and lots of knife makers just sand it up to about 1500 and then polish it on the buffer. Ah, that's good coffee. Really strong. Here's something weird. I brought a coffee pod from the house. That the coffee I drink every day, I brought one of those pods down here and put it in this coffee pot. Same amount of water. And my God, this is twice as strong as the coffee at the house. It's same coffee. It's just different machines. That's a Cuisinart up there. And this is a Keurig. And if it were this strong at the house, there's no way I could drink 3 or 4 cups at the house. I'd be bouncing off the friggin' walls. So, I'm not going to be drinking that down here. I mean, when I drink coffee down here, mostly, it's because it keeps me from eating when I drink coffee. I mean, I'm hungry all day. So, if I drink a cup of coffee, it makes me stop thinking about food. Y'all know I got a weight problem. So, the more I can keep my mind off of food through coffee, the less I eat, and the slower I grow. The slower I become more aerodynamic than I already am. Here's another thing. Here's what I originally fired the camera up for. I've been using DevCon for a while. I was using Gorilla 2-part 5-minute epoxy, but a friend of mine could get this by the case for way cheaper than I could buy Gorilla glue, Gorilla epoxy. So I started using this, and it's the same as Gorilla Glue, except stink. My God, it stinks. But that's not the problem. The problem is you got, by the time you get the two parts in a cup and get it mixed up, and then get it on your knife, here's how I do it. Here's how I do it. I set the bottom down, and I put it on here, and then I put the pins in, and then I lay the knife down over the pins, and then I put some on the blade, and then I put some on the other side. And if you have any problems, if the pins don't line up, which, 9 times out of 10, the pins don't line up exact. You got to fiddle with them a little bit. And by the time you get all that fiddling done, your epoxy's getting too hard to work with. And it says 5 minutes, and I promise you it's more like 2 or 3 minutes before it gets to a point where you can't work with it anymore, and you can't dig it out of the cup anymore. So I'm going to try this. This is what all the big-time fancy schmancy knife makers use. And my goodness, it is expensive. It's $30 for them 2 tubes, and then I had to pay like $8 or $9 to get it shipped here. So I'm thinking DevCon makes an epoxy, a 2-part epoxy with a longer cure time, like 8 hours or 5 hours or 3 hours. I'll have to get on DevCon's website. But plus, I like the fact that it, when you press this plunger, it squirts out equal amounts of epoxy. There's no guesswork. Here, you have to squirt from one bottle and then squirt from another bottle and estimate a 50-50 mix. But I'm going to try this. I mean, if it's really that much better, this is a much longer cure. You can work with this for a half an hour. And I believe it's 8 or 10 hour cure. I forget. But overnight, anyway, 24 hours and you could, fully sand on it. So anyway, what I'm going to do is acetone these Bacote handles and see if I can get the true oil off there. And then I'm going to epoxy them on the blades. And then I'm going to sand them up to 1500 and buff them. All right, let me drink my coffee. I'm going to get these mixed up and clamped on. I'll see you in a bit. While the dinner skinners are over there, I got 2 of them epoxied up. The handle's glued, and I'm waiting for the true oil to dry on the nose of these 2. This is the walnut. And I have a 4th dinner skinner that I'm waiting on the wood, and I should have that. I might have that today or tomorrow. And so anyway, while I'm waiting, I thought I'd sharpen these giveaway knives that I'm going to be giving away for the 55,000 subscriber giveaway celebration extravaganza. But I wanted to tell you about these cheap Chinese pieces of junk. God, I'll tell you what, you can sure get took when you can't actually put your hands on stuff. This is sharpening stones. Okay, the sharpening stones, the replacement stones for this Edge Pro are very expensive. Like $17 a piece, $18 a piece plus shipping. And I'm going through the lower grades really quickly. So I thought I could buy the cheaper ones from Amazon, the cheap Chinese crap. And no, they're coming apart. This, I don't know if you can see how wallered out that is. Just not even one knife. I stopped using it. It was coming apart. It's all over the floor. It's on there. It with every stroke, it's just falling apart. And it put some scratches on the blade too. This is the shiny one. So I'm gonna throw these away. And this says 3,000. I will kiss your butt if that is 3,000. The 3,000, the 2,000, and the 1,500 all feel the same. Actually, the 2,000 feels smoother than the 3,000. So I got snookered again. Yeah, you can't always, what is the saying? If you buy cheap, all you get is cheap. And sometimes, like Harbor Freight stuff, sometimes it's okay. I mean, you don't need something to last a lifetime. You just need a tool once or a few times, and it's okay to buy something cheap from Harbor Freight. But this was cheaper than cheap. Oh, and it come apart. This came apart in the box. This was apart. I don't know what kind of glue they use, but it's everywhere. Okay, back to sharpening and watching my movie. All right, I got 3 knives. Handles glued on. Epoxied on. Glue is the wrong term. And tomorrow they should be good to work. And Jeff, I just got your stabilized bird's eye maple burl. That's not a burl. That's, is that curly maple? I see some bird's eye in it. Anyway, this came to me from Maine. And I'm going to end up buying a lot more from this guy. We're wheeling and dealing right now through email. So, let me see. There is your shiny, hiney knife. And I will put these on tomorrow, unless my wife has something she needs me to do. I got out of taking them to Walmart and Kroger today. You know, I bought her a car so I wouldn't have to lug her around. And I guess she loves me because she still wants me to take her places. And I don't mind, but I'm right in the middle of 4 knives, you know? You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean. And, I would take her after I get the handles glued onto the last knife. And that will, I'll have all 4 at the same level of doneness. And then, I'll be at a decent stopping point. But anyway, she wanted to go today, and Bev went with her, so yeehaw, I didn't have to go. So tomorrow, I will put the handles on Jeff's knife and start sanding on these 2 since they were first. I just now got the handles on this just minutes ago, and this was hours and hours ago. It's been that kind of day. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, I got all kinds of wood in today. Let me show you. And I've got like 20 more pieces of some really beautiful wood coming in. Okay, this is some oak burl. Or is it just highly figured? I don't know what to call it. This is maple burl. This is redwood lace burl. I bought that from a guy up in Washington State. This is my first little foray into Dymalux. And sort of red, white, and blue. That was what the handles will look like this way, but it'll be mostly red. It's going to be really nice when I sand it up. And maple, curly maple. Geez, what is it? It's bird's eye maple, curly bird's eye maple or something. Anyway, and I got that Yucatan rosewood right there, but I've got stabilized cherry coming. I've got 5 pieces of stabilized desert ironwood coming. Okay. And walnut burl. I got all kinds of wood coming, stabilized. I had 16 pieces of wood stabilized up in Wisconsin for $47. So that's not bad at all. And they're shipping it back now. I should have it in a few days. Okay, I'm going to go drink a Mountain Dew and go sit in my front porch.